Let's go.
We are live, but it's Friday, so probably aren't as many people sitting there sort of chomping at the bit to,
Well, they'll be chopping at the bit, but not at this bit.
This will be fun.
Just going to get this audio right so we can hear you.
The audio should be right.
No.
Oh, yeah.
The studio's been pulled apart because it's been on tour.
The studio's been on tour. Fucking wild.
It's been
wild.
the countryside in the last month.
Yeah, I'll bet. Right, yeah, we
These
better.
speakers here went to Cootamundra and provided fallback for Matt Arthur and the Lazy Bones.
It's all about the lazy bones.
They went back up tonight.
Oh, yeah, how you feeling, El Capitan? You ready to go?
Yeah, whenever you're ready to go, bro.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Friday night special, mainly because, well, to be honest, I was busy last night.
Well, that's okay.
We were watching the fights.
Yeah,
the
fights.
So one of the Australian boxing promoters has sort of put on a set of fights and developed a bit of a program and put on quite a good show. And because I'm such a sexist bastard who doesn't support women's sports, I actually sponsored a female MMA fighter, at world championship level capacity for a little period of time. And she actually had her retirement fight last night, boxing in Sydney. And so obviously that was part of what we were doing. And obviously with New Bub, there's plenty of relatives around. So, we went and did that and we watched the fights. Arlene got beat. Arlene Engafist Blenko, but she's a fucking champion of Australian sports.
How many rounds did she make?
Oh no, they went the distance.
Went the distance?
Yeah. I mean, look, she's in her 40s.
Well,
the fight game is not a game for that's an old woman in the fight game. And she's been doing it for about 17 years. She's fought on the world stage. She's fought 4 world titles. She's been.
Remind me not to piss her off.
Mate, I've been in a ring with her. I haven't been in a ring with her. I've been in a ring while she's been sparring, and let me fucking tell you, I think I've still got some video footage of her sparring back at Bondi Boxing Club a few years ago, when we were there. But yes,
she can throw them.
She can absolutely throw them, and she certainly didn't disgrace herself last night. But that was part of what we were doing. We sat around as a bit of a family, and we watched that, and I think I've put probably 10 grand into her career when I had a bit of money back in the day.
Well, that's an honourable thing.
Oh, look, you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. Well, some people get a little bit confused by that. If you can't do fun things with it, sometimes.
Some people get a little bit confused with money and humanity and what the right thing to do is.
Yes. So, do you need to do your little cover your ass spiel for?
I should.
You probably should. I know it's Friday, not Thursday, but I reckon there's enough spies who a bit special.
Probably not doing anything on a Friday night because I've got no friends.
Well, are they allowed out on the town without mummy?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
My name is Anthony Irvine, and whilst I may be a councillor on Temora Shire Council, none of the views expressed here are those of Temora Shire Council. If I reference something from Temora Shire Council, I will endeavour to represent the decisions as accurately as I can. But certainly none of the opinions that I give here are of Temora Shire Council. They're mine and mine alone. As a community member,
as a free and
as a citizen in Australia.
And Rob Matthews has tuned in early with Ribbo is tuning in for sure. Well,
Ribbo.
Well, look, should we do that early? Should we get this up and running? Let me do. You've done your spiel. Your butt's covered. My spiel is I do what I want, when I want, how I want. I shoot as straight as possible, and I'm not owned by anybody. Certainly not a safe space. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do, you do. Life is good. But I'll tell you what. A friend of mine rang me today. Are you listening to the radio? And I said, fucking what radio? One, I don't listen to the radio. I don't think there's any consistent radio station that I listen to. And without being funny, the only time I would have ever been inclined to tune into TEM FM is when I was fucking on there because I'm the most entertaining bloke in Australia.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, before we were so unceremoniously threatened, bullied, and harassed by a fellow who we're going to play in a minute. And I lovingly told him to get fucked, which is sort of what I do when you know, push comes to shove. I won't be bullied or harassed by anybody. And Edie is tuned in. I'll tell you what, she's my favourite, ladies and gentlemen. I am in love without looking in the mirror. We know it. We know it. So now I've just distracted myself. She knew that. She knew she was going to do that, cheeky bitch. But look, so we were unceremoniously, or I was unceremoniously told at TMFM a couple of years back that I was not allowed to host said Councillor Anthony Irvine on Temora Radio because it was risky and you're a very scary councillor and blah, 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 blah.
And what were we talking about back then?
Probably a lot of stuff we still talk about, to be fair.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that everyone talks about. A lot of stuff that's been released under the GIPA Act.
Yes.
A lot of stuff that is public access information.
Absolutely.
A lot of stuff that's community interest.
Absolutely was.
And a lot of stuff that's...
The irony of the programming was...
Made a few people uncomfortable.
Well, to start with, I got asked to go, would you be willing to do a show for us? I said, you know what? Oh, you know what? I'm probably not too bad at flipping a bit off the cuff. I don't mind playing a few tunes. I'll donate 2 to 3 hours.
You were doing
a week.
You were doing some videos, some social media at the time.
Oh yeah.
You had a little bit of a profile.
Oh look, I'd previously been involved with Resolute TV on YouTube during COVID. I've done some interviews with some pretty big names these days.
So in terms of assessing where you were coming from, any right-minded person had a pretty fair idea of where you were coming from, and they could find your socials and they could get a understanding of what your baseline...
Nobody dealing with me is likely to come in and
be confused.
They're not going to be confused. They're not going to be hoodwinked and bamboozled. They're not going to be lied to. They're going to go, okay, we kind of know what he's about.
You're not going to try and sneak through with an agenda and then spring it on them.
No, I'm not a jack in the box. No. I just roll through the door and say, these are the kind of...
Okay, so when 10FM offered you the gig, they would have fully understood that you had a profile, you had an opinion.
Well, let me tell you, if they didn't, that's on them.
Well, it's all about risk assessment.
I can tell you that they did, and I'll tell you how I know that was because they made the soon-to-be former president, who we're going to play here for you in a little bit, they made him sit in with me for the first, I think, month.
Because they were pooing.
They were shitting bricks.
Did they have adult diapers on?
They absolutely did.
Do they still wear adult diapers?
They were. I reckon they should.
I went into the studio a couple of times, and I'm telling you, there was a waft.
Oh, it was.
There was a tape, and I'm telling you, it was adult diapers.
I'm telling you, and you know what? And you're right. You're absolutely right. So, you know, it wasn't like they were surprised, but we did come to a couple of agreed. It's a bit of common ground. Common ground, right? The common ground was I was going to do my absolutely best to not use any profanity.
Nice.
Not play any...
Well, we do that here, don't we?
Not play...
Well, occasionally one slips out because it's just off the cuff.
If I'm cranky enough on here, but here's the difference is...
Like a lot of shows have got an editor.
Well, we haven't. We haven't got any editors, and we don't currently have any sponsors that aren't our own businesses.
No.
So,
there's one. Look at that one.
Yeah, that's right. Rural Pest Management. Yeah, that's
Barrel's booking jobs. It's all going
booking jobs. But we don't have sponsors who, you know, who could arguably be offended per se. So I was happy enough to go, okay, that's the basis of the event. And this is we did 2 hours every Thursday night. Now, I still talked about all the same shit we talk about on here in pretty much the same tone with a little bit less profanity, if you will, and a few more songs peppering throughout the programming. As things got a little bit heated with yourself, And I
hit it with myself. No, I was talking about stuff that everyone wanted to know.
Yeah. But as those circumstances were heating up, and the public was getting more and more interested, and certain powers that be were getting more and more nervous, I was given a bit of a directive. And it was funny because they actually asked me early on in the piece to not talk about international and national issues so much, and put a focus on local issues. And then when I put a focus on local issues, they really shit themselves. Now, this is the same organisation that sent a directive out during the Voice to Parliament saying that we must all promote the yes vote, at which point, of course, I read that out and told them to bash that fair up.
This was on community radio, though, and at the time, I believe, the guest you had, was a democratically elected councillor sitting on the local council.
I would say you were.
On community radio, talking about community issues.
Yeah.
But you were told...
I received a letter.
You were told that you could not have said councillor on your show, and said councillor couldn't talk about community issues.
That's where it got to, yeah.
That sounds like censorship.
It was censorship, and I'm not one to be censored per se.
Did Xi Jinping put on a Hugo suit?
I reckon he did.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there were people in his ear as well. Like, I mean, you know, I don't think he came up with that all by himself. But
I'm sure he hears voices.
But as it went along, they sent me a letter. They said, Dean, you're not allowed to do this and this, and you'll be doing the following. And it was the letter's still public on my Facebook page if you look far back enough. Because if you send me shit letters, I'm going to embarrass you. Unfortunately, that's just how it is, right? So what transcribed was I was given a warning and I was given a time frame with which to comply, to which I effectively responded in kind. And my response is also on there because I don't just nitpick bits and pieces of what's the name, you know, like I'm not going to just go, oh, well, here's just their bit being dickheads. Here's my response. And here was their response in kind, which amounted to me going, well, bash it fair up your ass.
Fair call.
Fair call. Now, as I proceeded to go in there and hand the keys over, there was a small army of elderly folk, all with very cranky faces.
I would have put 2 adult diapers on that day.
All right.
Just in case.
And here's the reality from my perspective. I don't care that much, right? The reason I don't care is because I understand the internet moderately well. I understand different platforms moderately well. I saw it, without being arrogant, as one, creating a program that's fairly unique to Temora and Temora Radio. I would comfortably, without too much thought whatsoever, I reckon I could confidently say it was probably the most actively tuned into for program on the whole station. And by that, I mean, obviously there are people who play the radio all day and they'll listen to bits and bobs. There were people who were going, it's 7 o'clock on a Thursday, we've got to tune in for the ride. We're tuning in for the ride along. That's what we're doing. And that's obviously followed across quite a lot to this program. The phone call I got today, though, was epic.
We'll just backpedal.
Okay, that's cool.
The benefit I had back then was you were on the hook to do it every Thursday.
Yes.
Me, I could look at my schedule and say, I've got a gap here. I'm not doing anything tonight. I might give Dean a ring and see if he's got a slot.
Yeah.
Now, and if I was busy the next week,
it's also worth mentioning in there that I said every week that if any other councillors wanted to show up and have their say or counterbalance, they'd be more than welcome. Same thing for you.
Open forum.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's an open forum here.
Absolutely.
Now, since the banning,
yes, the very next Thursday night we were up, and this was
up and we were live. We were going global instead of going to T-Town. Instead of going out to those 27 people who were diehard
CEM listeners, yes,
we just decided to go global. And what's our best ratings yet so far? Have we had 5,000, 6,000?
Yeah, there's been a couple of 5,000, 6,000 episodes. So
you know, we've had some light ones, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely apart compared to the exposure we would have had on 10FM.
For sure. For sure.
I tell you, it is catching the attention of people over at Nowra, where the Office of Local Government's station. It's catching the attention of people all over the place.
Breaking news, Ribbo's wondering if you guys can show him how to set up a YouTube channel, gents.
That is I like that.
It's pretty funny. It is pretty funny.
Ribbo should come in here.
Look,
we can bury the hatchet in his head. No, bury the hatchet, and Ribbo could come and sit in for a night.
Oh, look, that's silly old bugger.
Oh, we could take the piss right out of him and tell him that he's a bullfed.
I had to sit there, and I didn't have to. Okay, obviously when I got to the point where I'm not doing this, I was like, you people are fucking off your rockers. For a starters, community radio, get a grip.
He had a grip. He had a firm grip.
Oh, look, the control freak type stuff that was going on in that building was.
There were people getting bullied. There were people getting hassled.
I can think of two ladies outright who were bullied outright out the door and terrified of going in and terrified of this bloody silly old bastard rip-roaring them and yelling and carrying on and screaming like a lunatic. Not a very nice place to participate, but obviously I didn't participate. I walked in at 6:45 and I left at 9 o'clock. Nobody really came near me. I've got a bit of an aura that says
went home, had a shower.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I got the phone call today.
Is that when you got the idea for the pest control business?
Yes. No, I've been trying to exterminate the pricks in Canberra for a long, long time. Yes.
No, I just thought that studio might have given you the idea for the pest control.
I tell you what, it's out of control. But what's happened today, right? Phone rang.
Yes.
Actually, when I mentioned it to Lisa, she thought it must have been you that rang me. I know it was another listener. If they
believe it or not, I don't listen to 10FM.
I'm colour me
because
shocked.
I want to get stuff that's interesting and current and thought provoking. I don't want something that's vanilla and censored and what would you say? Mainstream media.
Yeah. Look,
you know what I mean? I don't listen to 10FM.
Yeah, I'm in that
for that reason because they're so obviously our experience
for courses, of course.
But our experience absolutely demonstrates that they will censor, throttle, control the narrative.
Bully and harass ladies.
You will not get a clear, even, open, fair cross section of the views of the community,
which you don't get from any mainstream media anymore.
No, absolutely.
Sadly.
So, anyway, that's the hypocrisy.
Well, I tell you what, when the phone rang, said, "Oh mate, how you going? Is everything all right? Are you listening to the radio?" I'm fucking not listening to the radio.
Busy.
I have a life. I've been doing pest jobs. I've been singing, dancing, playing with the love of my life now that she has been born,
I'd rather listen to a 7-year-old learning to play the bagpipes, actually. But...
Well, you're not going to believe what's just happened. Ribbo has had a meltdown, a world-class meltdown. And I went, oh, this could be fun. Please do tell. Now, they've actually gone to the trouble of recording it. Now, they missed the start because that's what happens with these things quite often. But it's a 9-minute listen, so you may have to bear with us for a little bit, but it's well worth the price of admission. Now, I'm going to attempt to play
it. We'll play it off here.
Oh, well,
play it off here because this is going to go boom, boom.
Okay, well, if you just bring it up on my Facebook page, you should be right.
You should be able to do
because, of course, I posted it on there because that's kind of what I do.
But
you can do it off your Facebook page. You just need to find it on.
Okay, we're dealing with technology here, kitty cats. So let's go.
So look at us go. So I'll tell you what, though. Part of this thing was that, and I listened to it and I hit the floor laughing. I'm not going to lie to you. Where there's talk about the work of the devil.
The devil?
The devil's made an appearance at TMFM. There are non-Christian Christians who are not Christian enough. They're only Christians on Sunday. Up the bunnies, apparently. And some shit about their liars. Some are cheating on their wives or husbands or Christ knows what. It was one of the most spectacular. And I'm the rant king. I can do some phenomenal 10-minute rants. I think Ribbo must have been watching a few of my videos because I'm telling you what, he was on fire. No, it's not on that one.
No.
What's it on? You'd reckon I would be in your friends list. Don't you even like me? Oh, my feelings are hurt. Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
Now, let's give this a crack, cause, well, let's give it a crack. Hang on. You fucking peanut. View profile. Rightio. Here we go. Here we go. Cooking with gas. Now, is that fucking good looking bloke? Now, let's
Look
see.
at the technology.
Oh, mate.
Here we are. We're live streaming shit. We're eating chips. It's Friday night. I haven't some cool drinks.
Hang on. How do you work the volume?
I can work the volume.
Loyal listeners to TEMFM. And
Oh, hold on. Let's
go back.
Are you ready? Let's give it a go.
The decency of an explanation. The decency, because you are all loyal listeners to TEMFM, and I don't want anybody to be wondering where Rivo has gone. I will give it to you.
He's going to give it to me.
Recorded as we do record on our thing, so there can be no misinformation passed on about what I say. I have made a decision that I can no longer people here TEMFM. They are immoral. They are also very underhanded. They are liars. And some of them are even cheaters. There's at least one cheating for the last 2 or so years on his partner, but that's nothing to do with the radio. My biggest concern is that there is no loyalty here at the station.
Oh,
there are only people here that have their own jealous self-interests at heart.
You're joking.
And I made a decision. I just wanted. Maybe I'm strong enough and well enough to fight them. But I just wondered whether it is worth it. And I've evaluated my situation here on TEM or TEMFM as a presenter. These people, I just would not give the time. We also have some false Christians in the place.
False Christians.
Come on and play Christian music and preach the gospel. They're only Christians on Sunday. The rest of the week, those people from Area Park and Medman, they are, well, maybe the work of the devil. But I'm a Christian and I'll give them for their act.
It's all right.
Has ACMA got a copy of this yet?
I want to see some people now. Mayor Rick Furman, who's been a great supporter of TEMFM. And Roz and who've always made themselves available to help out and come in and talk on my programs.
What about me?
I would like to thank DJ Flankler, who has been a wonderful guest. And although I've only had this one opportunity to talk to Roy Solomon, he is an honourable gentleman who I would be only too happy to say hello to in the street.
All right, Roy, you're on the good book.
This decision, based on the fact there is at least 2, in fact there are more, but there are 2 perpetrators who have deliberately gone out of their way to make sure that I was not returned as president.
So it sounds like there was a coup d'etat.
As I said, I wish Dave.
It sounds like a coup d'etat has occurred.
As the new chairman, and all I can say, Dave, is that you should watch your back. Particularly with these 2, and you know who they are, Dave. I don't have to know.
You know who they are, Dave.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but it usually takes more than 2 people to win an election.
cheats on his partner for the last 2.5 years, and the other one, sly, underhanded person. Well, so authority on herself to do things like add things to grants that haven't been spoken about at a committee meeting.
What?
And, leads me to wonder what benefits padding these grants are and trying to rob the taxpayers of this country.
Are you writing this shit down?
Oh, I haven't got time. I haven't got time.
TEM, I think, and put it in a better place than it's ever been. Now, I just want to go on the record, folks. Want to go this on the record so it can be
Go be on more on the record. You're on the Spin Doctors now, Ribbo. You've made an appearance.
Decency.
Hit the big time,
A
son.
number of weeks ago, it's been known to me that we were about to receive a grant, a community grant from the state government. I made the gesture of loaning TEMFM interest-free an amount of $20,000 to help update its computers.
Is this man a saint?
He could possibly be.
No whatsoever.
Saint Ribbo.
Be sure that the element here at the station will not squander themselves with things that certainly won't be necessary here at the station. So I'm asking, and I will leave a letter here to the committee, and the committee is a good committee. Bruce Barrett and Brian Murray are very honourable gentlemen indeed, and I hope they can keep the place honest. I will ask for their support outside of the station. I'm very disappointed in the fact that past presidents, who should be seen and not heard, have white-handed my chairmanship. In particular, there's one who has done a lot of things behind my back.
Well, spit it out, Ribbo.
Only occasions
Come on.
me and speaking.
Get it off your chest.
That's what you really think. But the work of the devil. The devil's in. Who's there?
Sneaky.
That of a Judas.
Oh,
Of a Judas that I cannot tolerate. That's why I am leaving those. I thank everybody, all our listeners. Jan,
All three of them. He can rattle them off. He knows all five of them.
Darling, there's so many. There's Leslie and Stan up on the Central Coast. Over in Western Australia who have been great supporters of TEMFM. As I said, I would like people to know that I did make that $20,000 donation to the station. Not a donation, I beg your pardon. It was an interest-free loan.
it should be sainted.
As I said, I no longer have the confidence that the people who are...
I'm thinking about giving the Pope a call.
One snake, believe me, snake she is. I would not trust her. I don't think she can lie straight in bed. So I'm just giving you my analysis of the situation here at TEMFM. I will be leaving in approximately 5 minutes' time. I shall not.
The countdown's on.
Circumstances ever be back here on radio.
Oh, that's a pity.
Whilst and as I said, they are equal. I don't want to work myself up. I just worked out the fact, folks, that whilst I'm strong enough to fight it, I really want to waste my life, possibly affect my health, and well, anyway, I've said it, folks. I do thank you all for listening. I'll return you to the episode very, very soon. And well, all I can say is glory, glory to South Sydney. Let's hope that next year is a better year this year. To all our sponsors, to all our sponsors, long-time sponsors like McGrath Real Estate, our foundation members such as Matthews, KJ Matthews, long-time sponsors like Hutchison and Pitt.
Wow. Hutchison and Pierce. You've got to learn to say your sponsor's name, big fella.
Long-time sponsors. Still can't say their name.
Ladies and gentlemen, is what an epic rant looks like. I was so impressed. So impressed.
Ribbo is off the reservation.
He's gone absolutely batshit. Not that he wasn't already batshit, but that was epic. That makes it worth coming down here on a Friday night eating chips with you just to listen to that shit.
That is as funny as it gets.
The work of the devil, the perpetrators and honourable men.
There's snakes. There's shenanigans. It's official. There's been shenanigans.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
there's been shenanigans.
That is the sort of rant I need to start listening to Ribbo on radio more so I can get better at my rants, because that was fucking phenomenal.
That takes the cake.
It was pretty good, yeah?
That is so much better than anything we ever rolled out. That is absolutely top shelf vitriol.
So Rob Matthews, Ribbo's Sunday Roast is going to be the new YouTube channel. He's going to have at least 7 photos of Rick Furman on every channel page.
He likes Rick.
Who else?
He likes Hutchison and Pierce.
Hutchison and Pierce.
He likes 5 people who are his listeners. I don't know, Ribbo. I just don't know. I think you've just spewed up the cat.
Now, obviously, and I don't know. I don't.
There's been shenanigans.
No, without a doubt, there has been skullduggery afoot. Isn't it hilarious? This is funny as
Ribbo. Come on down.
It was.
We'll open a window and you can come down.
I'll tell you what though, like clearly they've had an AGM. That's obviously what's happened. They've had an AGM and he didn't get the president's job again, because obviously a few people have gone, you know what, fuck it. Somebody else needs this job, we'll give them the go, whatever. You can't turn around. I don't know how many's on the committee. Now, a few times when I was involved, they asked me to get involved in the committee, and I went, I'd rather chew glass.
Stick pins in my eyes.
Yeah. Look, I'd rather roll around on thumbtacks.
Drink
on
battery acid.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I need that aggravation in my life.
No.
And I take on a lot of aggravation. That's one that I'm not willing to do.
No.
But so I'm assuming there's 7 or 10 person, 9 person committee, whatever the committee's made up of. 2 people alone can't host a coup d'etat unless they have the support. So if they've turned around and decided
they can, but it'll be unsuccessful.
Well,
and they'll get bashed.
Possibly
if
from
2 people want to hold a coup d'etat, generally what happens is they wake up the next day and
well, it could happen down at TMFM. Handbags at 20 paces and walking cranes.
You know what I mean? Like if you're going to do some skullduggery and some shenanigans
with the devil's support. With the support of Satan himself. He's looking at the whole world.
I can't believe Satan made an appearance here.
Mate, Satan's looking at the whole world and he's going, fuck, listen, the rest of it's under control. You know where I've got to go?
Yeah.
I've got to go down to this TMFM and I got to get involved in that.
I'm not going to Gaza.
That's the power play.
I'm not going to the Ukraine. I'm the devil. I'm not going to the Ukraine.
No.
I'm not going to Gaza.
No.
I'm not going to some third world country where some dictator is
murdering, raping, pillaging regularly.
No, I'm going to go to TMFM.
TMFM, where there is skullduggery afoot, and it needs me to go down and exacerbate.
It's a hotbed of I
don't want to sound ageist, right? But when I was involved, I was the youngest, pretty close by about 30 years, if I recall. If there was anybody else involved at that time, I was unawares. Yeah, and I'll also preface that by saying
no, there's a young.
I think there's a couple of young ones that have rolled in since I've.
There have been younger people there over the years, but I think
at various points there have been.
They're still receiving therapy.
I don't know. I know that when I was there, in the interactions that I had, I don't think there was anybody that I dealt with who was. Brian Weeks was probably the youngest bloke down there that I dealt with.
Right.
He'd be in his 60s. So he'd be 20 years older than me at least.
Is
right?
that IQ or age?
Look, I'm just talking age here.
Oh, right, age. I thought you were talking IQ.
Well, yeah.
He never struck me as a Mensa candidate. Who knows?
Well, but we're looking at that age. So it's a bit of a pensioners' haven down there. It generally, from what I can tell, the odd younger person that may want to get involved is going to be deterred pretty quickly from the old fuddy-duddy army
and the smell.
That's not real nice, yes. But, you go down there, you want to play your songs. I've been in the room. I dig it. And you don't want some grandparent down there telling you what you can and can't do. And
because they're down with the kids.
Very hip, without a shadow of a doubt. So,
look, very hip and very new.
Very hip and new.
Yeah.
I've been happy enough since obviously we stepped over to doing this to take a bit of the piss out of the old Pterodactyl FM. I couldn't have predicted such spectacular entertainment coming out of it.
An own goal of that magnitude, I could only wish I could have sat there dreaming of the biggest own goal TMFM could have kicked on their own heads. And it wouldn't have been that good.
That was spectacular. Now I don't know who's on the current committee. I've got no idea.
Did he say Scary Dave might be the new?
He's the new president.
Right. Well, okay. Well, first and foremost, Scary Dave, you're going to get done for false advertising because you're not scary. You're different Dave.
Different Dave.
If you had to call yourself different Dave, you'd get away with it. Yeah. Scary Dave?
Yeah, I don't find you all that scary, pal. But horses for courses and all that sort of shit. But
I suppose.
I tell you what.
Anyway, you've got some look, Scary Dave. If I was you,
they're big shoes to fill.
Pressure's on. Start Googling how to build bridges.
I think
and also exorcisms. I would watch The Exorcist, and then
gotta get the devil out of there.
The devil, and the devil in the studio. That devil coming to me, coming down, coming up on the devil.
I'm gonna have to ring the Pope. I'll give him a call. I think Ribbo needs to be canonised. I mean, is it?
He needs to be shot out of a cannon.
I forgive them because that's how I'll get into the gates at heaven. And fuck, what? I got some pretty serious Christian friends, and they're right into it, and I get it. But holy fuck,
it's ravings, it's ramblings, it's hallucinations. I think he might have been eating some beef Wellington. Has he been eating beef Wellington in Tasmania?
He could have done.
He might have got some.
That was one of the funniest things I've heard. Normally, local shit doesn't amuse me to that degree. But he's just put himself right up there with the shit that's been going on to get my attention.
Ribbo.
Fucking hilarious.
You fucking idiot.
That was wild.
Ribbo
was absolutely epic.
Dickhead of the week.
That was. I don't know if the Pope would agree. I heard that, and I'd like to thank the listener. And of course, if he wants to identify himself as the culprit of said recording, I'll allow him to do that, because as a member of the public, as Ribbo said in that, this is for public to avoid any misinformation. Yeah, well, you've hit the big time, son. You're on the Spin Doctors. We don't do misinformation. Your words are your own, son.
This shit's going global, Ribbo.
Your words are your own.
And you have smacked yourself with the biggest uppercut. Oh, you might as well just go to the freezer, get a frozen leg of lamb out, and just dong yourself on the back of the head with it.
Was that not the funniest thing? It was the funniest thing I've heard all day. I'm telling you.
How do, mate? That's made my week.
That was. Oh goodness! All right. Okay. Do we have any official business that we do need to clear the air on? Before we do fun shit and take the piss out of. Have you got any updates?
I've got an update. Michael Axarian's in court, I believe, on.
Oh, he's hippie bloke.
He's the graphic designer from AdVision in Wagga Wagga, who had the temerity to put a poster up in his shop window depicting Clive Palmer, Michael McCormick,
yes,
Peter Dutton, and our Lang Hancock's daughter. What is her? Oh my God, Alzheimer's.
Gina
Reinhardt. That's what I was thinking. Hancock, and I'm thinking it wouldn't come to me. Gina Reinhardt, depicting Michael McCormick, Clive Palmer, Peter Dutton, and Gina Reinhardt in German World War II uniform.
Yes.
Now, I believe it's listed for mention on Monday in Wagga Local Court. I'll just check that so that we can assure that we're giving our viewers current and up-to-date information. But this matter is going to garner some global interest. So just let me bring up the Wagga court lists. There we are, 29th of September at 9:30 a.m.
Everybody starts at 9:30 a.m. and they just sit in the line until
R v Michael Axarian means the Crown.
The Crown.
The Crown. Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie v Michael.
What a fucking potato.
The jurisdiction for this matter is it's in the criminal court. It's a criminal matter. It's in the local court. The listing type is for mention. So I imagine there's going to be some sort of a plea, or I don't know. I don't understand. That's where it's at. So Monday, Mr. Axarian is being
mentioned, which generally means fuck all will happen. I believe is the correct culinary term.
We don't know.
What other interesting shit's going on this week?
Well, we've had the sod turning at the hospital.
Well, I've spent a little bit of time up at the hospital the last few days. Obviously with the bub going up for a few checkups and things of that nature.
All good.
Yeah. Look, bomb-proof little princess. Let me tell you, she'll be wielding an axe on a battlefield in no time.
There should be some press on this. Here we go. One day ago, we've got historic day for Temora Hospital. Blah, 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 blah. Where's some photos? We need some photos. No photos. All right, that's no good. I'll find you some photos. I'll find a photo for you.
Yeah, fair enough. What else has been on the agenda this week? So I've obviously been on a bit of leave from the car yard, and unlike normal times when I'm not at the car yard, I haven't been doing much selling of cars. I did go over and deliver one today. So Baby Edith has
I noticed that.
Baby Edith has now delivered her first car.
So she's just been delivered and now she's doing
She's over there. She's already pushing it out and kicking goals. But that was kind of fun. That was just I guess a bit of a special customer who I'd sort of promised a little bit of extra special attention to. So as usual, if I can hold to my word with, every capability that I can, I do. So we went over there and did that. I've been pest controlling fairly rapidly lately. There's been a lot going on in that space. So if anybody who's looking to get that done, give me a bit of a shout. Temora, this may shock you with the state of Temora, but I do get quite a few locals who are starting to use that service. They haven't been shunned to that point or blacklisted to the extremity with which we thought. And that, I think that partly comes in when you just do a bloody good job. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you.
They can blacklist you for a while, but they get a bit tired of dealing with subpar performance. And you can dislike my personality all you like, but if I'm going to do something, I tend to do it quite well and put the time, effort, and energy into, you know, doing it right and making sure that if something does go wrong, which inevitably happens in life, that, you know, we solve it as quickly and efficiently as we can and all that sort of shit. So, you know, I've been flat out doing that. They had the rugby league presentations on for the kids tonight, which I effectively missed because I was out pest controlling and then I was here. And so Ryder's a little bit pissed off with me, I think, but he'll just have to learn to live with that sometimes because Dad can only be in so many places at once. You would be stunned to learn.
Yeah, that happens.
It does happen, you know, little bugger. But I don't think this was really his year in rugby league anyway. Next year, I'd say he'll be a bit, you know, he's due for a growth spurt. All of his little mates have had massive growth spurts and he's still little. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when that comes along. And of course, being that it's Friday night and the footy's on and everybody's a bit excited, we don't want to be here too late, but we just want to make sure we touch on a few things. And of course, we don't want to miss a week. And of course, Ribbo gave us some spectacular entertainment for the evening, which had to be addressed.
I can't believe Ribbo smacked himself upside the head that hard.
I'm just disappointed we didn't get the whole recording.
Look, believe it or not, I've got the wrong password in that, and I can't access the info.
But the Tomorrow Hospital started.
Anyway, there were 5 politicians there, and they all had gold shovels.
What did they?
They dug one shovel full of dirt in a prop, which was they just laid some sand out there and piled it up for them to do the big official photo shoot sod turning.
Of course they did.
Now, the big news out of that was later on that afternoon, 5 politicians presented an emergency with blisters. Now, take note, that'll be the last bit of physical work they do on the project, and the rest of it will be 100% credit taking.
Oh,
if there's any problems, they will not be found. They will. So
it will be somebody else's fault, possibly yours.
Oh, I imagine.
Could be yours, could be mine. I reckon I'm responsible for climate change.
We know that anything that's good in Temora, clearly, is the work of our
illustrious mayor. A friend of Ribbo, even.
Yeah.
Who has been anointed by God to clear out false Christians and the work of the devil.
Could Ribbo be the next Jeebus? Has Ribbo come to earth?
Can you imagine those two at a party?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
But I'm a sick puppy.
It's a fucking wild show.
It's the biggest implosion of just bullheadedness.
It's right up there, isn't it? It's pretty
bullheadedness. It's
pretty spectacular.
Wonderful to see.
Oh, look.
Anyway, so we've had the sod turning at the hospital. Now, they didn't muck around because I went past the site today, and would you believe they've got cranes and stuff all on site. They've already got stuff happening on the site.
Yeah, well, they're right over the road from Lisa's there, so you got to have a look at that. What's that? Your security camera?
That's one of them.
Oh, that's fantastic. High security joined around here.
What have we got here? No, not that. Let's go back.
You'd be surprised to learn, Councillor, today on my Facebook page, which is a very active little show, you know.
Look at that.
It's all happening.
Yes.
It's all happening. I had a fellow who I posted something about Andrew Twiggy Forrest, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, Twiggy annoys the fuck out of me, and I'll tell you why. He made billions and billions of dollars
selling iron ore to the China.
Selling iron ore, and, you know, let's be fair, drilling, mining, burning coal and fuel and oil and fossil fuels. Yeah. And now he's on this bullshit high horse pontificating about climate change and all this sort of crap. And he was doing it this morning because these wankers all think they're going to be sainted or something, or there's a big backhanded deal, because he's also started a wind farm company, you may be shocked to learn, and a solar farm.
Do you think he might know that there's some government money to be sticking the head in the trough?
No doubt about it. And then he's on the TV wearing a fucking Ukraine badge. Now, you've just made billions of dollars out of my Australia, your Australia, our Australia, and this prick's what did he buy? R.M. Williams as well, or was it a Cooper? I think he bought R.M. Williams, and
I reckon he might have bought a Cooper too.
No, because I double checked. I knew he bought one, but not the other. But he's on the TV, he's pontificating, he's preaching around. He's obviously the biggest hypocrite on planet Earth. So I just took a photo of him there with his little Ukrainian badge and pointed out what a dickhead I think he is, which I'm entitled to do that.
He owns a Cooper too. Tattering's an Australian private investment company owned by Andrew Forrest and his family. It invests in a diverse range of interests.
Well, there you go.
And
there you go.
He owns a Cooper.
A Cooper and RM.
RM, because he's Aussie.
He's Aussie, while selling us out to the Chinese, the fucking douchebag. But he's on there, and of course I've done this, right? And I do that, and at the moment, a little bit of stuff that I'm putting out there is getting a fair bit of attention. One of the videos the other day, 200,000 views across 3 platforms.
Ribos will get 200,000.
Ribos will now. This will be the biggest. This will be the biggest thing. Yeah, but there's starting to be some, and I don't think, because my message hasn't changed in 20 years. It really hasn't. I haven't changed all that much, but what has happened is I think an awful lot of people are starting to wake up to the fact that their fucking con is in and they're being ripped off, and then they go, "Who's this bloke? You should run for parliament." I go, "I've done it fucking half a dozen times."
Yeah,
and you voted for the other guy.
Not enough of you wackers will vote for me. In the meantime, you're getting bent over.
Which is look funny as it is what it is, but that part I just find funny, right? But I had a bloke rip-roaring me on my page today about what an arsehole and this and that, and Ukraine's in the middle of a war, and that's why he's supporting them. And I just outright said, because I'll be frank and blunt, while we've got Australian people living under bridges, we've got homeless veterans, we've got people with full-time jobs who can't pay their bills, I don't give a fuck about the Ukraine or Gaza or Palestine or Israel or Russia. I don't care. Stop waving their little flags. Not interested. If you want to go and save them, pack up, fuck off you go. Happy to do that. I'm happy to work on Australia, with Australians, for Australians, and I couldn't give a rat's ass if that hurts some little lefties' feelings. It's usually the little lefties that are really emotional about these other countries.
But they're the ones most likely to shoot you in the head.
You'll also notice that they're not parading and pontificating and making all this noise about all the little African wars that are happening where they're killing each other for years. My brother served in Rwanda. They were hacking each other up with fucking machetes. And so he's getting all excited about that sort of shit when it goes on. There's world starvation everywhere, but apparently, the Ukraine one's very important because the TV told me to. It's very virtuous. Anyway, I just think he's a wanker. I put up there. So this lunatic gets on my page, calling me every name under the sun, has this half an argument. I only noticed him about 5 hours after I posted it. So a few other people told him he's a fuckwit and whatever. Anyway, I just go, mate, I can give a rat's ass what you think. Well, you're the one crying here, blah, blah. It's my fucking page. I can give a rat's ass. You're the one following me around on the internet. I'm not following you. I don't know who you are.
Don't care.
I don't know you. I couldn't give a rat's ass. I'm not interested. I'm happy to tell you I disagree with you. You're the one on my page hollering and hooting about what a prick I am. Go and watch somebody else's page. You don't like it? Fuck off. Bye. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, please love me." What I'm doing with these things is being brutally honest, harsh where need be, because you know what? None of our current politicians have the fucking nuts to say what most people are thinking.
No, the current politicians get up in the morning and before they say a friggin' word, they consult a poll. And when the poll tells them what to say,
and the advisors and the bureaucrats that are running
what to say and what to think,
go out there,
and then middle of the morning there might be a change of direction, and then by lunchtime they're going to say the opposite, and then by middle of the afternoon they're back on the earlier one, and they
because it's climate change.
Flip flop. They're a perpetual motion machine. If we could harness that energy of the flip flop, we might have some free energy.
Yeah.
Look, they're wankers. And they're liars and they're bullshitters.
That's where we're at.
And the sooner we get a little bit of reality into the whole equation, the better. I had the best weeks. I've been having great weeks.
Yeah.
But I had a really
well, I mean, you can hang out with me once a week. Life's good.
But I had a really good week again this week as well.
Yeah.
On top of, and this is the kicker, like this is just a cherry on top. I had the pleasure of doing audio production services for St. Anne's Showcase. Now, I was just sitting back tonight trying to remember when I might have started doing the production for St. Anne's Showcase. And it had to be mid to late 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking, because I remember that I made an approach to Chris Dunstan at Temora Shire Council in around 2010 saying, is there any possibility we could find some funds? This is before I was on council. As a community member, find some funds to do some upgrades at the town hall because the audio facilities in the town hall at the time were absolutely atrocious.
Yep.
And that was when Chris told me that no, look, we're going to put in for a grant. We're going to do the whole thing up. And I said, that's fantastic. What are you going to do? And he said, look, I'll show you. So he actually furnished me with their plans.
Yeah.
And I looked over the plans and I went back to Chris and I said, look, Chris, it's all well and good. It's all new equipment, but realistically, all they're doing is repeating the same mistakes. All of the issues that we experience today aren't so much due to equipment as much as where the equipment's placed and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was at that point in time that Chris Dunstan said to me, oh, I had no idea. Would you like to do the project? And it was at that point in time, about 2011, that I accepted the job.
I remember we've discussed this one.
So would you believe that I was in my happy place doing audio production with, positive people and having a great time.
Yeah.
And then, unbeknownst to me, the real devil, I believe, that Ribbo talks of, I must have danced with the real devil because all of a sudden I spent 5 or 6 years of my life, maybe more, working on a project that I believed I had.
Yeah.
Only to be spat out the back end and ran over the top of with one of their road rollers multiple times to make sure I was dead and would never get back up.
Well, that's that happens.
But like Wile E. Coyote,
here we go.
I popped back up and I'm still doing the productions there.
Well, that's good. That's excellent. And they
still
go well.
making friends, still having a good time.
Friends.
And believe it or not, I'm still taking equipment into the town hall after all of the refurb, all of the revamp, all of this great palaver.
Yeah.
To actually do a proper show.
Did it go well?
It went fantastic.
Well, that's good. That's excellent news.
And it always does.
I like it.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
Even after the upgrades, the very first person to do a production in the town hall was moi.
Yeah, right.
And I've been doing them ever since. So I did them before. They shut the hall. And I do them since.
Yeah, right.
The only difference is we've got all this new equipment.
That doesn't work properly.
No.
Yeah, good.
And it's in the wrong spot. And they haven't put the facilities in that we need.
Business as usual.
So it sounds like a government project.
That's a government project. Speaking of government project, question here, Irv. Did the tip fire result in any wash into the sewer leading to lake? When was the tip on fire?
Not that I know of, but I'm pretty sure they spread lots of acrid smoke all over the rest of the community. I don't know which way the wind was blowing. I happened to be away that weekend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I went over to Wagga last weekend for 2 days.
Where was I last weekend? Probably in Wagga with a baby, I would imagine.
I had a great weekend last weekend. I went shooting sporting clays.
Yeah, you do a fair bit of that, don't you?
That was over.
You know, I'm going to run another half marathon.
Yeah, right.
I've signed up for another half marathon.
Give you a bit of flesh out what the weekend looked like. The Australian Defence Force come to Wagga each year and basically take over Wagga Gun Club or the Australian Clay Target.
Yeah.
And they shoot skeet and they shoot down the line and they shoot all these different disciplines for the course of the week. And then on the weekend, they'll shoot 2 full days of compact 100 targets each day.
Yep.
And it's fantastic. And there's really good shots come from all over and join in. And So it was a pretty good. It was a celebration of shotgunning and shooting shit and shooting good.
Sounds all right.
So yeah, it was a really good weekend. And of course, you'll never get a more. The feedback you get from putting a couple of cartridges in the shotgun and call and pull on the target and having it float across and pulling the trigger and seeing it blow up.
Yeah.
Is you get a lot of feedback off that. So it's good fun. And all sensible people, all the whole thing. It's just a really good way to spend a couple of days.
Yeah,
so that was last weekend. This week we've been really productive at work. We've finished off on some big projects that have been going on for a period of time. And making friends and getting having really
how to win friends and influence people.
Yeah.
As written by the famous local philosopher Mark Ribbons.
Yeah. Ribbo. What a ripper.
Oh, no.
Don't call him Ribbo, call him Ripper.
Ripper.
Ripper Ribbons. Ripper Ribbons.
I don't know how many times I'm going to have to rewatch that. We'll watch it again and watch it again.
But I think we need to chop it up and have it as our intro. Some of those things.
I'm
gonna Devil.
I'm gonna cut and paste and stick and do all sorts of stuff because, as he pointed out rightly, it's for public consumption because that's what it's there for. But look, 8:30, we've rolled out an hour show on a Friday. The footy's on. Most people have other things to do, including myself. I got a house full of children, and my sister is looking after all of them. So. She's calling.
No, it's been hilarious. It's been a great hoot. We've got stuff to do. We've got a big weekend coming up. Big week coming up. Everything's good. We're winning.
We are absolutely. We're knocking out goals left, right, and centre. I've got no complaints. Life is fantastic.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Life is fantastic. I tell you what, and I know that some people sort of, trembling in their boots about certain results. That's because they're generally dishonest, and they deserve to be trembling in their boots. I don't feel any sympathy for that like crowd. Yeah, absolutely. I sleep really well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in.
Everyone.
If you want, replay that and share that Ribbo video. Make him famous. Let's see if we get him a couple thousand views.
Ribbo,
I reckon.
President.
Let's see if we can get that.
Ribbo for president of 10FM.
Look, that's
we're at a picket line down at the station tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Me sharing that recording is at 545 views already.
That is fair.
So let's make Ribbo famous because he should be. How funny.
Ribbo the Ripper.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend.